There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Maya Angelou. My champions, destruction. This word brings to mind loss, suffering, and chaos. It's that moment when everything you've worked for, everything you've carefully built, suddenly falls apart. It's the gut-wrenching feeling when you watch your dreams shatter before your eyes, and the world feels as though it is crumbling around you. It's when you're left to pick up the pieces of your life, uncertain of where to begin. We've all faced destruction in some form, whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, the death of a loved one, or the collapse of a long-held dream. It's the moment that seems to define your world, the moment when you feel like you're standing in the rubble of your own life, wondering how you'll ever put it all back together. But what if I told you that destruction is not the end of the road? What if it's not the final chapter of your story, but instead the beginning of something even more powerful? You see, destruction isn't just about loss. It's about transformation. It's about turning the very thing that tried to break you into the catalyst for something new. Just like the mythical phoenix that rises from the ashes, you too can rebuild from the ruins and emerge stronger than ever. Today, I want to share with you the powerful, raw, and sometimes painful process of rising from destruction. I want to show you that even in your darkest moments, you have the ability to create something beautiful and meaningful from the rubble of your past. Destruction is not the end, it's a new beginning. When destruction hits, it feels final. It feels as if everything you've worked for has crumbled, and there's no way forward. But in reality, destruction isn't the end of your story, it's a chance for something new to begin. Let's take the example of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. He failed countless times, and his lab was destroyed in a fire. But instead of giving up, Edison saw the fire as an opportunity to rebuild. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." In his mind, destruction was not something to fear, it was just another step toward the breakthrough that was waiting. After the fire, Edison's team rebuilt the lab, and he eventually succeeded in creating the light bulb that would think of destruction as the clearing of a field. The old crops have been harvested, and now the soil is ready to be tilled and prepared for new growth. When something is destroyed in your life, it's the universe's way of making space for something better. You've lost something, yes, but now you have the chance to create something new. Just like a forest fire that burns down trees to make space for new growth, your destruction makes way for the future. The pain of rebuilding, a necessary struggle. We must acknowledge that rebuilding after destruction is not easy. It's not a smooth or quick journey. It requires time, energy, and immense patience. It's a struggle that will test your strength and determination. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. Before she became the global icon and media mogul we know today, Oprah's life was marked by hardship and failure. She faced rejection after rejection and even lost her first television job as an anchor. But instead of giving up, she used every setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. It was in the face of this destruction, this series of failures, that Oprah's true resilience was born. Every time life knocked her down, she got back up. And eventually, she became one of the most influential women in the world. The pain of rebuilding is real. It's hard. It feels overwhelming, but it is also essential. The process of rebuilding gives you a chance to reflect on what truly matters, to learn from your mistakes, and to rise with a greater sense of purpose. The power of resilience, turning pain into strength. When everything falls apart, you face a choice, to wallow in your despair or to rise again, stronger than before. This is where resilience comes in, the ability to bounce back, no matter how difficult the journey. Think of the story of J.K. Rowling. She was living as a single mother on welfare, struggling to make ends meet when she wrote Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers. Can you imagine the pain? Rejection after rejection. Most people would have given up, but J.K. Rowling didn't. She refused to let rejection define her future. Instead, she took that pain, that rejection, and used it as fuel to keep going. She kept writing, kept pushing forward, and eventually, she changed the world of literature. Today, her books have been translated into over 80 languages, and the Harry Potter series has sold over 500 million copies worldwide. What did J.K. Rowling teach us? She taught us that resilience is not about avoiding pain, it's about using that pain as fuel to propel yourself forward. When life knocks you down, get up. And when you get up, get stronger. Embrace the process, the beauty of growth through adversity. Adversity can be one of the greatest teachers in life. It's in our most challenging moments that we are forced to grow, to expand, and to stretch beyond our limits. Think about the process of a pearl forming inside an oyster. The pearl begins as a tiny grain of sand, an irritant that causes the oyster discomfort. But rather than allowing the grain of sand to destroy it, the oyster transforms it. Over time, layers of nacre are deposited over the grain of sand, and what once caused pain becomes a beautiful, lustrous pearl. That's what adversity does for you. It's uncomfortable, yes. It causes pain, yes. But in the end, it transforms you. It shapes you into something far more beautiful, far more valuable than you could have imagined. Look at Nelson Mandela. For 27 years, he was imprisoned. He endured unimaginable hardship and suffering. Yet, when he was finally released, he didn't seek revenge on those who had wronged him. Instead, he sought reconciliation, forgiveness, and unity. He used his pain to create a nation that would eventually become one of the world's most inspiring examples of peaceful transformation. Nelson Mandela's story shows us that it's not the pain that defines us, it's how we use that pain. Adversity is the forge that refines us into something greater. And just like the pearl, we emerge from it more beautiful, more powerful, and more capable of changing the world. The phoenix rising, rebuilding your identity. When destruction strikes, it can feel like you've lost who you are. You're left staring at the wreckage of your past life, unsure of where to go or what to do next. It's as though your identity has been wiped away. But here's the secret. Destruction is not a loss of your identity, it's an opportunity to redefine it. Think of the myth of the phoenix. The phoenix is a bird that lives a long life, only to be consumed by flames in the end. But from those very flames, the phoenix rises anew, stronger and more brilliant than before. It's reborn. That's what you can do too. You don't have to be the person you were before the destruction. You can be someone new, someone more resilient, someone more focused, someone more powerful. Take the example of Steve Jobs. He was fired from Apple, the company he founded. But instead of letting that defeat him, he used the experience as an opportunity to reinvent himself. He founded Next, which was later bought by Apple, bringing him back into the company in a more powerful position than ever. His return to Apple is a story of rebirth, a true phoenix rising from the ashes. The choice to rise. Don't let destruction define you. The truth is, destruction can only define you if you let it. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's difficult. But you are not a victim of destruction. You are a survivor. You have the power to rise, to rebuild, and to transform your life. Take the first step today. Don't let the past hold you back. Rebuild, not as a broken person, but as someone who is stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes next. Conclusion. Rise from the ashes. Your time is now. Destruction is never easy. It leaves scars, it leaves pain, and it leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. But destruction is not the end. It's just the beginning. When the world feels like it's falling apart, remember the phoenix. Remember that from the ashes, new life can emerge. Remember that you, too, can rise from the destruction and become something more powerful, more beautiful, and more resilient than you ever imagined. Now is your time to rise, to rebuild, to show the world what your truly made of, because from the ashes, your greatest transformation awaits. When you rise, you'll not only survive, you'll thrive.